Hey there, guys. It's Mia here. I am so excited. I am so excited about this live today. I'm going to teach very simply today, in my opinion, the number one reason why smart women don't launch big and charge their worth. And I promise you, this is going to be a really great live over the next couple of minutes. My only goal is to support you and elevate the way you look at your talents and your skills. You're brilliant. You're awesome. And the question is, are you showing up for yourself 100%? I think after this live, it's going to get you to think differently about how you're showing up for yourself. I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant, and I got started my company 20 plus years ago, and I made a decision to get myself free and to stay free. Hey there, darling. And my only goal in that time was to do whatever it took. That meant to adjust my mindset, to do the work, to become exceptionally disciplined, to be able to show up for myself, to charge what I am worth, and to stand in my value, and to commit without ceasing for the dream that I had inside of me. Now, this live is going to be for you tonight. If you've got a big dream, a bodacious dream, but you haven't shown up 100% for yourself, or you know that you could do more, this live is going to absolutely shake your shoulders. Now, I do want to disclaim that a lot of times my lives are exceptionally motivational and inspiring, and this will do that. But it also is going to step on your shoulders, your toes a bit, right? So not your shoulders, but your toes. And so if you are in need of a shoulder shaking, this is going to be for you, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. My only goal is to have you listen to something that likely no one in your network has said to you, none of your friends, your accountability partners, your relative, your spouse, no one's had this conversation with you, but it's an important component of your success. And is an important conversation to have. Now, for those of you who are just meeting me, it's nice to virtually meet you. I started my company 20 years ago, made a decision that I would go to work as myself. And I decided in that moment that you know what? Good enough was okay. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do. I didn't decide in that moment when I launched that I was going to be a business coach. I actually launched my business as a mom coach. And I started where I was with a skill and a talent that I had that I felt was exceptionally good. I created a lot of success, wrote a couple of books that did exceptionally well, and then went on to get signed to a couple of television shows. Equally, I did a number of corporate deals with Fortune 100 brands and learned how to build the business of building a brand and also in eventually a coaching practice. Fast forward, many of the women who watched my journey as I was in front of multi-millions of people each and every week as a segment host for the show America Now said, can you show me? Can you show me how to position my book? Can you show me how to build a brand? Can you show me how to go to work with myself? Can you show me how to build a business and as you had a family? And I said, I absolutely can. And that's how I entered the world of business coaching. Now, everything that I teach my clients, and I've worked with thousands of smart, sharp women over the years, I only teach what I do. Hey there, darling. I only teach what I do. So it's a novel concept today. I don't teach what I copy, and I don't, I don't. I teach what I do. And I believe that the reason that my clients are exceptionally successful is because everything that I've taught them, I have done myself. Okay. And many of the women who I've had the pleasure to work with, when they came to me, they didn't even know they were a business. They had no idea what the brand was at all. But I want you to know, if that's you listening to me right now, that there is a business inside of you. And yes, you can take your years of experience, your knowledge, your background, your gifts and your talents, and you can package those into a high ticket structure as a coach, a consultant, a trainer, an online educator, or maybe you want to license what you want to do, or maybe you want to be a media personality and build your business that way. All of those things are possible because I've done them and I've supported so many of my clients in doing that and so much more. Now, this is going to be an interactive live tonight. I'm teaching on, now I'm fired up, guys. Okay, let me just tell you. The number one reason why smart women don't launch big and charge their worth. That's what I'm going to be teaching on tonight. And you need to tag a friend that you care about. Invite someone that you know will benefit from a tough love live, because that's what it's going to be tonight. And I promise you, I'm not going to hold back. Now, my goal is never to offend, right? But I do know that there's some topics that are very important for us to talk about when we think about launching big and why we don't. Even though we have the skill and the talent and the know-how, even though we have the education, even though we have the pedigree, even though we have the certifications, why are we not launching big? There's always a reason. And I've covered them here on my sheet here. I'm just going to run through them step by step. I already disclaimed earlier, it is going to be a tough live and it will likely step on your toes. But the only goal, the only reason I'm doing it is in love, so that you will show up more powerfully for yourself. All right. So if you're ready, as always, I want you to write, I'm ready, because you know what? You have to be ready to receive an amazing message. And this is going to be an amazing message. So who is ready? Okay. And it'll be interactive as we go through the live. If there's something that you hear that resonates, I want you to type what resonates, or what aha you're getting, or what you're learning. So Relis is ready. So she is ready. Thank you for leading from the front. And there's someone that says, I'm ready wholeheartedly on Facebook. I can't see your name. I'm so glad you're ready. Anyone else ready? You do need to be ready to receive. And even if you're watching this replay, you need to be ready. All right. I'm going to jump right in. The message today is the number one reason why I believe that smart women don't launch big, okay, and charge their worth. And this is so important, because you could launch, but if you launch small, then you don't get to realize what is available to you, right? And we're talking launching big. Launching big means hitting six figures and beyond with your idea. Launching big means selling what you do for high ticket. Launching big means getting yourself free and staying free. All right. This is the language we're going to speak today. It is an elevated conversation, and it is the only conversation I want to have. See, when I decided to launch, I wanted to launch big. I wanted to get myself free, and I wanted to stay free. And I think the reason that so many women don't launch, when they don't launch property, they're not properly motivated to do what they need to do in their business, because what they've achieved isn't even what they wanted. All right. So I want you to think big. Number one, the first thing that I have here, the number one reason why women don't launch big and charge their worth. Number one, and this is tough, guys. All right. Is a lot of sometimes we've been in situations that have made us doubt ourselves and our value. Okay. So sometimes we have been in relationships. Okay, hear me. Okay. Sometimes you may be in a marriage. Sometimes you may have friendships. Sometimes you may have jobships, in which case you have questioned your value, meaning you cannot stand in your value in those situations. I can tell you, I know this to be true. I know tons of women who would refuse over the years to stand in their value or charge more because they didn't want people in their world to be uncomfortable. I don't know if this is you or not, but hear me on this. One of the biggest reasons that people don't launch big is because they've been in situations that make them feel guilty for being great. And if this is you, I want you to hear me. I want you to hear my heart on this. And it's something that I've talked about for years, for decades. I honestly feel like the self-growth, the investments that I've placed inside of myself, the classes I've taken, the coaching that I've done over the years, the implementation, how I've changed and grown as a being, as an entrepreneur, that my family are the direct benefactors of that growth. And if you have a different mindset or you have a different belief because of the people you are associating with, I'm telling you, it's time to level it up. Okay. You got to level your thought process up. What do I mean? Sometimes you're in a situation that whenever you talk about your dreams or your goals or your plans, people say it's too big. It's just too grandiose. And why can't you be comfortable with where you are? I mean, you've got a great job. Why do you want more? And I don't know if I'm talking to you, But if I am talking to you, you know exactly what that story looks like for you. And I will tell you it's the number one reason why your prices are low, you're not standing your value, and you're not fighting for the biggest dream that you desire on the inside of you. You're listening to other people, and your goal is to make them happy at your own expense. And it is time for you to really be courageous and brave for yourself. Am I clear? Is this making sense? If this is making sense, I want someone to write, Mia, this is totally making sense. Now, this is not about making anyone or any individual wrong. This is about you understanding that your life, you get one, okay? You got one. Okay, this is your life, okay? And that you have a responsibility and a commitment to lead from the front. Your kids are counting on you to show them what great looks like. And you can't do that sitting on the sidelines of the dream that is inside of you. And I just want to say it. If no one's around you, can say it to you because they don't want to offend you. Right? Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Because no one wants to say it to you. I want to say it to you because I don't know you, right? I don't know, but I know you. And I've seen it over the years. I talk to women all the time who want to take that next step for themselves, but they've got to ask permission. Hear me. In order for them to take that next journey to invest in themselves. Like imagine if I went to my husband and said, babe, I'm thinking about going to law school. What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea? My husband would say, do you think it's a good idea? Because I got to go to law school. I got to study. I've got to want it. And my dream has nothing to do with him. Okay. I mean, it has nothing to do with him. It has to do with what I see for myself. And therefore, when I take what I want to do to my husband, I'm not asking permission to move forward. I am simply informing him of what my next step looks like. Now, we might have to talk through situations and commitment and arranging childcare or whatever that would look like in that time. But I'm not asking permission to grow. And if that is you, you're using your family situation or your partner as a shield to not say yes to yourself. I told you it's going to be a tough life. Today, I'm teaching very simply, the number one reason why women don't launch big, smart women don't launch big and charge their worth. Number two. Are you ready for number two? All right. Number two is that sometimes when we're really smart, okay, when what we do is already successful, we fear judgment. Now, you know what I'm talking about, okay? When you're already successful with this one thing over here, okay, and you're running departments and you're running an agency and you are the cat's meow doing whatever it is you do. And everyone in your world looks up to you because in their mind, you have already done it. You have already made it. You are the pinnacle of success. You are the example. Okay. You may be the sibling that's done it. Okay. You may be the friend that's just amazing, an example. You may be in the community, the person that always gets called or talked about in the sense of admiring your accomplishments. But when that is the case, a lot of times, very smart and successful women, the biggest struggle they have is that they fear judgment because they don't feel like they have that room to fail, because they have so much visibility that they tend to be more careful about playing outside of the lines and not wanting to make mistakes. You know, I'm telling you the truth. But I want you to understand that one of the reasons that often smart women don't launch big is because they are afraid of what other people think. And what other people think of you is none of your business. The first person I ever heard say that was Lisa Nichols. And so I remember hearing her say this live, and I thought, absolutely. Okay, what other people think of you is none of your business. None. Zilch, not your business. And when we make the thoughts of others a greater priority than our commitment to ourselves, we have to fight to be brave for ourselves. And whatever you need to do, whatever you need to read in the mornings, right, to adjust your mindset so you can show up for yourself, understand, do it. Do it. All right. I just looked at some of the races of the World Championships for track. And one of the stories that I thought was so fascinating, which we all followed, was Sha'Carri Richardson, right? So here it is, this young woman, young would be the most important piece here, exceptionally talented, had a life situation in which case she made a poor choice at a previous championship. And as a result of that, she didn't do well during that championship and she didn't handle loss well. And she was dealing with the fear of judgment. Now, hear me on this. Even though she's fast, we all know she's fast, right? Even though she's talented than most, even though she's a world champion, okay, the fact of the matter is we can see that she's a world champion now, but she had to address her own fear. I would think in the morning she had to work on the self-talk. I believe that she had to have people around her speaking life into her. I think that what she was looking at on television, or the books she was reading, or who she was training with, were reminding her of herself and how great she is. And if you don't have that, you need a huddle of people that will do that for you. It's super important. You need a mentor, a coach that will inspire you, someone that will challenge those beliefs and share with you that they are not real. All right. There are people right now that need what you have, and they can't have it if you're afraid. All right. They need it. Okay. They need you. All right. And we need you to overcome you. And you got to do that self work if you're dealing with that. It's something that I've seen over the years. I've worked with a lot of incredible, sharp, and high profile women. And this is one of the things that typically many of them deal with. And when you look at them, I know when we look at you, you look good, you smell good, right? But on a whole different level, there's a different kind of fear and brokenness that happens when you can't be vulnerable to be yourself because you're in a glass bowl called success already. All right. Is this making sense? Is this resonating? If this is resonating, I want somebody to write resonating, like ding dong, like got it. All right. Today, I'm talking about the number one reason why smart women don't launch big and charge their worth. And I told you already that it's going to be a tough live. I'm breaking it all the way down. And my only goal is to support you. Now, here's the deal. If you've been watching me and you love this live, make sure you hit the subscribe button and share it with a friend or two or three, or hit highlight, right? At highlight, so that we can get this message out so that other people understand they are not alone. Number three, the third reason why smart women don't launch big, okay, and stand in their value is, oh my goodness, this is a tough one, okay? Like, I just want you, all right, this is tough, okay? So sometimes under earning and achieving great success, or sometimes under earning and underachieving success is part of your family's belief system. Uh-oh. I told you this. Listen. Okay. Listen. Okay. Wait. Listen. Okay. Hey, hang in there. Okay. Sometimes we have a culture in our family where, as women, underachieving and under earning is part of the family's belief system. Now, let me break this down. I'm not having any kind of spiritual conversation. Let me be clear about this, okay? I'm just stating the facts. Here's the deal. There are women who, I'll give an example, who are stay-at-home moms, and they want to start a business, and they are running their families like corporations, right? I've been a stay-at-home mom over the years. It's work, and it's work that I've always enjoyed being a stay-at-home mom. I love being a stay-at-home mom. There are women who under earn and underachieve because in their family culture, women aren't to go but so far. Like sometimes in the culture, you have not earned dollars in so long that it's very separate from you, that you actually believe in your mind that the person, your partner that's earning, your spouse that's earning, that what they're able to do is bigger and taller than you because you don't have any proof that what you do can generate income. I'm breaking this down, all right? Because I know this is a conversation that many women, I've worked with tons of women who've been stay-at-home moms who had a money mindset that was negative, okay? Meaning because they had not earned forever, that whenever it came time for them to establish their own value monetarily in business, they struggled around it. struggled, not because of their skill, their talent, their abilities, because of a mindset, because of a culture in a family. There are many times that's what the reality, what it looks like. I've seen it over the years. I've had friends who've had caps on what they could earn because of a money mindset, because they believed that their spouse had to be the breadwinner and they could not contribute this way. It's kind of quiet out there. I'm just going to fan you guys, but I want you to understand that one of the reasons that women don't launch big is often because of that particular mindset. And because of it, they believe in some way that they cannot earn. And I want you to understand this, that if you're a stay-at-home mom, I was a stay-at-home mom, you're a stay-at-home mom, you've got skills, you've got talent, you've got education, you've got ability. You had a previous life before you were a stay-at-home mom, and that allowed you to build all kinds of experience, and it's very valuable. And if you do not see this, I want you to see this. I want you to get this. If you are in a culture in which case you believe that you can't earn because you're female, or because you're a mom, or or because someone makes more money than you, it's a toxic mindset. And just think about, when you have the ability to contribute and add value to your family, what a blessing that can be to your family. So I just want to support those of you who are out here, because you're sharp and your talent and your skills are needed. And if you've been struggling with those beliefs, I can tell you also what it looks like. A lot of women who don't earn significantly or as significantly as their spouse, when it comes to investing in themselves, they are afraid to have that money conversation. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They don't feel they deserve to invest in themselves from the family money. They're fine with kids getting soccer, paying for college, paying tuition, whatever else goes with, golf lessons for the hubby. But when it comes to themselves, they just don't get it. And if this is you, I want you to understand that it's time to change that. Does that make sense? Is this resonating? It's a tough life, right? But it's an honest topic that often we don't talk about, but we should talk about it, because it's the reason why so many smart, sharp women don't launch big. It is the reason why they don't charge their worth or stand in their value. And it is a complicated topic that nobody wants to talk about, but it is the reason why so many women are putting a pin in their greatness, and they're not doing what they're fully capable of doing, because they are waiting for everybody else in that family to be great. And they are waiting for the right time for them and the right opportunity for themselves to be great, despite their sacrifices and the love and care that you provided to your family. I just was very unapologetic about what my needs have been as a woman and as a mom. And I'm really clear about the level of devotion that I have for my family, for my kids, for my husband, what I've done for them, with them, what they've done for me. It's a shared culture of investment. And I hope that if that is not where you are currently, that's a place that you set a goal to get to. It's very important. You deserve to be invested in, just like everybody else. All right. And it has nothing to do with the dollars that you're bringing in, because quite frankly, I always told my husband, no one could ever pay me to do what I was doing for our kids. No one would have done it better. Okay. And no one would have done it the way that I've done it. And it's likely true for you as well. Number 4. All right. Number 4. Now 4 is tough too. Now I'm talking about today, the number one reason why smart women don't launch big and charge their worth. And I already disclaimed that this is a tough live. Are you guys getting value, or are you getting value? Right. Number 4. Oh my goodness. Okay. 4 stuff. All right. The circle that you desire are actually bottom feeders, crabs in a barrel. So we're talking about the reason that smart women don't launch big and stand in their value. I'm ready to break this all the way down. Okay. And I want to talk a little bit about bottom feeders. Okay. I want to talk about crabs in a barrel. All right. Because if that's not your situation, then you're with a sisterhood of people who are your own ambition level and above. They're authentic and they have high level of integrity. Right. So we don't need to talk about that. But we're talking about the bottom feeders. Okay. The bottom feeders. And a lot of times we don't recognize that when you are smart, when you are sharp, when you are incredible, what's going to happen? You're going to attract people who are bottom feeders. And a bottom feeder, okay, like sometimes you think a bottom feeder is not about bottom feeders. They just come to feed and to pull things down. A bottom feeder comes to take. Okay. And sometimes we don't think about ourselves and how magnificent you are and incredible your ideas. You just get yourself caught up because of the hype. Does that make sense? But I want you to understand this, that if you want to launch big, you need to have a sisterhood of people that want to launch big too. And there's something about being around people your own ambition level and above that it allows you to get there quicker, faster, sooner. Now, how do you know if you're with the right folks? Well, for one, if you're with people who are your ambition level and above, they will help you. There will be a lasting community. There won't be any low vibration. There won't be any negativity. There won't be any gossip. All of the low vibration things that happen with bottom feeding. Hear me, okay? Because those are toxic patterns that exist in people who desire success, mimic success, but their mindset is still bottom feeding, right? Are you guys with me? Okay. Are you hearing me? Okay. I want you to think about when I remember it was a scenario. I'll give a personal story. And I knew someone who coached also long time ago, 20 plus years ago, who had a coach and went to an event and had a book, right? Had a book, went to an event, had this book, and was her coach allowed her on her stage at her event, and she presented her book, and her coach edified her at the event and said, "This is her book." Right? And everybody there at this conference, which had thousands of people, were directed to buy this book. You couldn't get greater edification than that, right? Do you guys agree? Do you agree? Now, this coach decided that what bottom feeders, I just told you about this, right? This coach decided that the way that they would say thank you to the coach that brought her on the stage and allowed her to share her book to her audience, thousands of people, to the coach's audience, and told those people to buy that book, that she would actually book a suite and invite many of the people who were coming to the conference to come to the suite so she could sell her own coaching to them. Bottom feeder. And you get to decide for yourself if you want to build success with bottom feeders. But I will tell you for sure that if she did it to her, she'd do it to another. And I witnessed her doing it to another and another and another. You see, it's very, very important to understand if you want to launch big, right? And you're smart and you want to charge your value. The only people that do that, only people that steal, rob and kill, are people who are not, to me, of God. And there's a level of insecurity. There's a separation in their confidence when you don't believe that you have inside of you what it takes to be great. To be great means that you know you can stand on what you have and you can own what you have. I've built my business over the last 20 years, literally from scratch, just like ideas, right? Just ideas pop in my head every day. I thank God for them every single day. And never, ever have I ever thought to lift anything or take anything from anyone, because it's not how I operate. It's not what it's not even how I operate, even when people operated that way with me. Currency for me has always been my relationships. And the fact of the matter is, if you are a bottom feeder, what do you do about this? You need to work on your mindset. You need to work on your belief systems, because confidence often is the thing that gets in the way of people being as exceptional as they need to be. When you believe that you know what I'm saying, that what you have isn't enough, then you feel like you have to take. I mean, I thought about this scenario like for years. I said, what in the world would make someone in their mind who's already selling now, has the opportunity to sell thousands of books to all these people and been edified on stage? What would make them do that? Insecurity, fear, doubt, greed, okay? And none of those things are things that are magnetic long term, because the demons that you have, right? And they are demons. Those demons inside of you, eventually they get to you, right? You're conscious, right? So understand that that's the number one reason that people don't launch big. And you can't launch big when you operate that way, because you're taking small actions. I'm breaking this all the way down. I told you I was just going to speak from my heart today, just break it all the way down for you guys, because a lot of times, we don't understand what we say yes to. And we say yes because we're like, oh, yes, because of our own esteem, because if we aren't, if we don't do the work on ourselves, we'll say yes to anything because there are no boundaries, right? And often we operate with a level of naivety, in which case we don't recognize that there are people who do come in your life with an agenda. And when you're a very, very talented person, the reason you'll get to launch big is when you deal with people like that, they come to kill, steal, and destroy. And it's fact. All right, number 5. That's the last thing I have. The number one reason why women don't launch big and charge their worth, all right, is, oh my goodness, being great is a scary place. So we run from anything or anyone that challenges us around that. So I want you to think about this, okay? All right. Now I'm going to use my personal trainer, okay? And I've had many over the years. Okay. So let's just say you have a personal trainer that wants you to do some stuff, and like going to the gym tomorrow is going to be so hard. Okay. The push-ups going to be hard. The lunges are going to be hard. Going up and down the steps is going to be hard. The 2-mile warm up, run, walk, it's going to be hard. Pushing the tires is going to be hard. So there's a scary place. It's part of being great. Okay. Meaning sometimes we have to wrestle with the thing that is so incredibly hard or painful, or it's like getting yourself motivated to do it. And it's easy to make excuses and not be great, not choose greatness. It's easy to just pick up the phone and say, I'm not coming. I'm not coming to the gym. I got a little cold because of what it requires. And I've seen this happen also with women who run from anything that elevates them. And the moment that they, you know what I mean? Like the moment that they, like in my case, it would have been like, I need you to do these pull-ups on this bar, right? Oh my God, it's like, every time I thought about it, I was like, oh my goodness, like, I think I'm gonna have to leave early today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I'm gonna have to leave early. That's the only example I can give you, because I think that when we have opportunities to be great, we often make excuses so that we don't have to show up for the thing that really will make a difference for us. And it's because it's that scary place. And that's where all greatness happens. Without discipline, you do not get to live the life you desire. Facts. Okay. It's easy to start over, start again, start something new, start all over. But without discipline, without commitment, and committing to the thing that you can do, it might be hard, but you can do it. Okay. That's how you come to know who you really are. That's where grit comes from. That's where confidence comes from. People ask me all the time, like, Mia, how are you so confident? I'm confident because I've done a lot of things and failed at a lot of things. I know me. Okay. I know me. I'm okay with making mistakes and learning from them. I'm falling forward, falling flat on my face, fine with it, because all great things have happened because of it. And it allows you to build a level of resilience and confidence in yourself and within yourself when you allow those moments to fail. When I've had those moments when I could just be vulnerable and say to my trainer, those pull-ups, like, I was thinking not coming today. Is there anything else? And then that's a vulnerable moment. That's when I get to, instead of running from the thing that can help me grow, that I get to be a partner in my growth. Do you guys hear me? Are you hearing me on this? Is this clear? Is this making sense? Are you guys getting it? Because this is so important. A lot of times we know what will be great for us, but we run in the opposite direction. Let's say you know that you need to sell and you're afraid to pick up the phone. Just afraid to do it. Afraid to have a sales conversation. Okay. So, you don't want to sit in a group and make sales calls so that you can get the help and the support. You rather just do it on your own and act like you're doing it when you're faking like you're doing it and you know you're not doing it, and it's not allowing you to have the success you want. Sometimes we have to face ourselves and we have to get real with ourselves around, like, why am I not where I want to be? Okay. Why am I not charging my worth? It's because it's been optional for me. It's been optional. See, I've set up a whole bunch of parameters of options. Option means I'm not going to class. Option means I'm sick today. Option means I show up late. Option means I leave early. Option means, oh, my shoulders hurt. My shoulder hurts. Right. So because we create these excuses get in the way of us being great, and I hope that you have people in your life, in your world, that really do hold a place for your greatness. And I hope that you are a person that's able to commit to what you say yes to. Okay. And I hope that if you don't, that there's someone in your world that calls you out, and that you have the self-esteem and the habits of mind to realize that no one has to care about you being great. And when someone does care about you being great and wants to partner with you to help you do that, that's a tremendous gift. At least that's how I see it. Like, my trainer could just not call me back. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Just don't care. Okay, don't care. All right. But imagine having someone that actually cares about you being great and wanting you to actually get the result that you desire. How do you treat that relationship? How do you treat that commitment? How do you show up for yourself around the things that you know you need, right? But you're optional about it. And let me break this down. And this is the last thing. The fact of the matter is, and I see this a lot, okay? Oh my goodness. And never more than today, right? Like, it's like blinding today. You know what you really need. You know what you need. But you have over the years been optional and giving yourself some of what you need. So you need, I'm making it up. You need the full solution, right? Let's say you need a coach, you need a full solution. But you invest in these little $97 courses. It's like 3-day challenge. It's like a 5-day. It's going to change your whole world. And you've done it so much that you've built a culture of investment inside of yourself that says, like, I'm not giving myself what I need. But what if you decided, like, to change that thought process? And instead of giving yourself kind of what you need, which ain't what you need, because that ain't what you need, what if you decided to allow yourself to really be seen? What if you decided to invest at a level that scared you so that you would not walk away from it? Would you show up differently? Probably so. I've watched it happen. I've seen people. When people invest at a level that they can walk away from, they never open the courses. They never look at anything. When they're paying big dollars for things, they show up. Maybe, just maybe in this season, in your season of change, right? Fall's coming. That you decide you're going to show up for yourself, like, really, okay? And hopefully this live shook your shoulders. I told you it's going to be a tough live. For those of you just joining me, I'm so excited you're here. I would love to hear your ahas and your takeaways for those of you who have been here. And I'm going to just recap really quickly as you write an aha. What was your biggest aha, your biggest takeaway as a result of being here today? Was this good or was it good? I was just speaking from my heart. All right. And here's a recap if you're just joining us. The number one reason why smart women don't launch big and charge their worth. And I said, number one, sometimes we've been in situations that have made us doubt our abilities. Like, people just questioning you, like, why you? And you start to believe that as your truth, but it's not true. And we don't have the confidence to lead, right? Number two, when what we do in our lives, we're already successful when we fear judgment, right? Like, we fear being judged because we are a name in the community. We don't want to fail. That is one of the reasons why women don't launch big, right? And stand in their value and charge their worth. It's literally that, right? Number three, sometimes under earning and underachieving is part of the family's belief system for you. And the only way that shifts is if you shift it. And it was a tough but important live message, and very, very important. Number four, the circles that you desire are actually circles of bottom feeders, crabs in a barrel. You don't know it because you don't know that you attract that. But sometimes there is a part of us that needs development, personal development, right? And that you know it because it becomes catty, it becomes gossipy, it becomes low vibrant. You know it, okay, and you know you deserve more. Big dreams don't have time for BS. All right, I got it. All right, big dreams, okay, because you're so busy doing it. And I just want to encourage you, your ambition level and above, and in any environment or any culture, I can tell you when integrity is in compromise in any way that I've ever seen, I leave. I'm done. I'm not going to be a part of it. The moment that I notice it, because it's just a matter of time before it's your turn. Trust me. Number five, being great is a scary place. So sometimes we run from it. And or anything or anyone that represents that what that next level looks like, because it's just, oh God, it's just easy just not to do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's who likes doing dips, right? Like anybody like doing dips, but so it's easy to just run from it. It's just not good training. You got me doing these dips. You know what I'm saying? Easy, easy, easy. Okay, I want you to think about it. All right, so I asked for your ahas, I asked for your takeaways, and there's one person here. I can't see your name, and your aha is to decide, right? Decide, right? And decision making is so important. Showing up for yourself. Who is that? But showing up for yourself and making that decision that, you know what, I'm ready. Like the best time is now. Hey, Phyllis, the best time is now. All right. I don't have to wait to be great. You can be great right now. All right. And the truth of the matter is you're already great, right? We're already great. But sometimes there's that next level what greatness looks like. And, we make it convenient. But I've always found that for me, it's always been inconvenient. I mean, I you guys know the story. In my 40s, I turned 40, the year I turned 40, I signed up for a triathlon and started a triathlon team, but I couldn't swim. And I didn't even realize the triathlon I signed up for was actually an open water swimming event. So go figure, okay? So I got this team, it's 11 women, and most of them can't swim either. One could swim a little bit, and the rest really couldn't swim at all. So the very first thing, we had 9 months to get ready. So the first thing we had to do was learn to swim. Okay. So every day, obviously we've got to bike and run, but we got to figure out how to swim. I don't know how to swim, and I got to learn to swim, and I got to learn the endurance swim, and I got to learn the open water swim because I got to swim in a lake. And so I think about this all the time because after my swimming lessons, I still couldn't swim. Like I really wasn't fit to 3 months into swimming lessons. I still wasn't able to swim a whole lap, right? And now I got to open water swim, and I got to swim 0.63 miles in open water, right? Big feat. So I hired a triathlon coach, and this woman changed my life. Deb changed my life. And what she helped me to understand is much of what I talked to you about here. Number one, no bottom feeders, right? We were all women who didn't talk negative, who didn't talk about what we couldn't do. We only talked about what we could do, right? That's it. And then you got a bunch of people that can't swim at all. All right. And Deb's training us and teaching us to speak what we want, not what we have. Speak what we want, not what we have. She's helping us to vision ourselves swimming endurance swimming for long distances. She taught me how to swim 2 miles without stopping in open water. And she showed me how to tread water for 45 minutes without stopping 3 different ways. Who knew? The girl that couldn't swim goes on and does 3 triathlons. Now, I had some choices, some scary plays. And there were times when I was scared out of my mind, but I wanted it. And I had someone that wanted it with me. And because she committed with me, sometimes I didn't believe in myself, but I believed that she could get me there. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we just need that, right? And she just didn't allow me to underperform. It just wasn't the culture, wasn't what we were doing at all. Okay. And I didn't take advice from anybody in my world that did not already had completed a triathlon. And since nobody in my family had, I didn't listen to any of them because what were they going to tell me? Okay. I remember my mom said to me the day of the race, the thunderstormed right before and we had to wait and the race was postponed. She said, what if you die in the water? So what if I took my mom's advice? Okay. Because the day of the race, she told me, what if I die? And, you know, I knew I needed help. I had to be vulnerable. So any other ahas or takeaways, anybody want to share a comment as a result of being here? Sheila, I see you wrote truth. I am so glad that you got value from being here today. And Relis writes, resonating. I'm so glad that you wrote that in. I'm not asking permission to grow, which is such an important concept that I think people don't think about, but it's really important. And TMS equals totally making sense. I love that. Thank you for putting that there. All right. So that's what I have for you today. If there are any other ahas or takeaways or questions for me, I'm happy to answer those. I'll post a link here if you are looking to take your knowledge and package it into high ticket coaching, consulting, training, online education, or licensing, and you are trying to figure out where to get started, but you're ready, right? Like you're not getting ready to get ready because that's not what we do here. But if you are ready and you want to understand a process that can help get you there, then book a call, schedule a time with us to speak. I'm going to post a link here that will allow you to do that. 1 second. Okay. And here. I think you guys can see me now. So you can just choose the 30-minute option. You will need to complete an application, in which case we will read it and make sure you're fit, and we can help you take what you want to do and package it in a high-ticket product. I hope that this has supported you in some way. Like I said, it is a tough life. If you're just joining me now, this was good. Okay, so you need to make sure you go back and you watch it, all right? And be a good friend. Share it with someone that you care for. I love you. Have an amazing night.